On the show today, Liberty women's basketball assistant coach Erin Bath shares her story of perseverance and how she hopes it can impact the players she coaches.
And with the Eagles heading to the Super Bowl, we sit down with the chaplain who's helping this team understand what it means to walk with Christ. It's all coming up. This is Game On.
What is up? Welcome to Game On. We're thrilled you've chosen to join us today. As always, alongside of Rhett McGiven, I'm Matt Warner. Bobby Bolig will join us in just a little bit.
You know, Matt, one of the great things about sports is every time you sit down to watch a game, you have the chance to see something you've never seen before.
Yeah, that's very true. And in fact, that's essentially what we begin with today. Liberty Hoops took on Campbell this past Tuesday in a Big South Conference clash, and we were all witnesses to a shooting display the likes of which we have never seen before. The Flames finding out prior to this game that Lavelle Cabell would be out with the knee injury. That meant one of the best perimeter defenders in the conference wouldn't be available against one of the conference's best scorers in Chris Clements. Not that any defender in the world could stop some of the shots he was hitting on this night. The kid was flat out unconscious. He would hit 10 three-pointers on his way to a 42-point effort. But listen, it wasn't just Clements. His running mate Marcus Burke was also filling it up. He too hit 10 three-pointers, finishing with 32, as Clements and Burke become the first pair of teammates to ever each make 10 or more threes in the same game. A bit of history at the Vine Center. Not that Coach Richie McKay was all too thrilled to see. But despite that, Liberty actually fought back, tied this game early in the second half. The Flames showing some real fight in this one. But in the end, it was just the Campbell's night. They go on to win it by the final of 94-85.
Fellas, can I call a spade a spade? I mean, that was a shooting clinic. They were shooting from way beyond the arc. They were making them, and they got confidence, and they kept rolling. I mean, there's not many teams in the country against any defense that will shoot that high of a percentage, even a zone or a bad defense, and we don't play bad defense, but they got a rhythm, and two guys got a rhythm especially, and they're a tough out. When they shoot it like that, they could beat anyone.
Well, coming off an impressive win over Summer Price and the Campbell Camels, the Lady Flames had their eyes set on first place in the conference. Their game against Longwood would stand in their way and would not be your usual suspects leading the charge in this one. 50 miles down 460 would be the home site for this game. KK Barber would start off white hot. She would score the Flames' first 8 points of the game, highlighted by a 4-point play that jump-started LU out on a 7-0 run. Head to the second quarter with the Flames on yet another run. Layla Sellers would cap it off with a triple from the corner. This would give the Flames a 22-11 lead. During the second half, Longwood would make it close multiple times, pulling to within 5, but once again, Key and Green would be clutch. In the second half alone, Green would record a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. And as I said earlier, unusual suspects leading the way, Tatiana Crowder. She would score 9 points in the second half, a career high, to go along with her 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Well, with that win, the Flames improved to 6-1 in Big South Conference play. Combine that with High Point's loss to Radford, and the Flames are now in a first-place tie with the Panthers and UNC Asheville. Looking at the rest of the standing, Radford is in sole possession of the second spot with their latest win, and then the rest of the field begins to drop off just a little bit. Multiple teams are bottled up with a 3-4 record, and then you find the young Winthrop Eagles still searching for their first win in conference play.
Staying with ladies hoops, you know, all the experiences we go through in our lives, they help shape us into the people we are today. And for first-year Liberty women's assistant basketball coach Erin Bath, it's the ups and downs she's experienced in her own life and career that now help her connect and influence the players she coaches today.
So when she leaves, you need to cut.
Okay. So I'm up here.
Growing up where I'm from, I was able to use sports as a way to communicate, as a way to feel okay that I'm 6'3" and I'm an African-American girl in Cobb County, Marietta, Georgia, that it's okay. I think that's why I love what I do with communicating and being a coach.
For your shot. Here we go. Come up strong. Miriam, over here a little bit. You come. Okay.
I tore my ACL my senior year in high school. My whole senior year, I didn't play one game. I sat the bench. And here I am getting all of these letters from these universities at my junior, freshman questionnaires, sophomore, junior year, and then to, now what do I do? I mean, I was pretty devastated. my high school year, but my coach Pavlak was like, it's a good time for you to become a captain still and coach and learn the game and just be a good leader. So that actually helped me with my leadership skills, which I know played a huge part of what I'm doing today. It's crazy. You know, I was born and raised in Marietta, but I really grew up at Clemson. I did a lot of growing up under Jim Davis and Coach Kerry Green. Did a lot of growing up. My time at Clemson is what I want every young lady to have. I have sisters forever. It's just winning, losing, you know, crying, laughing, everything. Absolutely. My time at Clemson is priceless. So here comes the WNBA draft, and I'm driving home from Clemson, and I get a call from Dan Hughes, the head coach for the Cleveland Rockers. What? And I didn't even know. I think he even hung up on him. I was like, who is this? A prank call? I was not believing that. He called me and invited me to his training camp that I was being drafted. I pulled over. There's a gas station, and I got out and I danced around my car. They would have thought I was on fire. I didn't know what to do. Well, when I go to training camp, I'm there for a while, thank the Lord. And I remember distinctly, I got injured in practice. I went to the hospital, and not only did they give me information on my contusion on my right quad, which I'll never forget, they also told me, you're with child. And I said, with who? With what? I'm like, I got to get back to practice. What you talking about, Willis? You know, so I was really like, what? And that's when it all changed. This is when you get Coach Aaron Bath to this day. It all changed. So it got real. I mean, that's a short, sweet version of it, but my life got real. You know, it wasn't Clemson Tiger, woo anymore. It's, you know, going back to Clemson pregnant, not making the WNBA team. Now I'm back on campus pregnant with my teammates in the summertime. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't have my own apartment. I was enrolled in class. So I slept on people's couches. My teammates, they stayed with me. They woke me up. I had morning sickness. I'm like sick. They're like, get your butt up, go to class. You need to get your degree. They knew I was pregnant, but they didn't tell anybody. So there goes again another example of team and why this game and athletics and sports can be so much more. It makes me feel a certain way when I talk, especially when I talk to my girls now, because I know what they could do for each other. I know it, teamwork. I know it, you know, and I've seen it because I would not have a degree. I walked across the stage 3 months pregnant, like crazy. I owe so much to my teammates. I've been so blessed because not only Coach Green, Coach Davis, Boris Lachesky, my agent, my mom, they all said, let's go, meaning you can do this. I'm at home with my degree, crying on the couch. My mom was like, will you stop crying? You have your child, go play basketball. Women do it all the time. I had my girl, three months later, she's 3 months old, I am in Greece playing basketball. I played professional basketball probably a total of 5 to 6 years of my life of trying to get in there. Spent a lot of time with different teams. Once I was done playing overseas, I took some coaching jobs and I kind of bounced around, but I'm a single mom, and it was a huge blessing to be able to take her with me. And I think that's when her whole life started to change too, because we were all over the place. Adventure, mommy, what's next? She's like, what's next? Where are we going? I'm moving around, I'm moving and shaking. I'm at Georgia State, I'm home, and I get a call from Coach Green. Oh my goodness, Aaron? Hey, Coach Green, how you doing? You know, what's up? You know, oh, that was me. I'm doing good. He said, I've got an opportunity for you. And I said, are you looking for a coach? And he said, yes. And I said, oh, because I really loved where I was. I really loved Georgia State. I mean, it was that quick. I mean, I got here and seeing Miss Green and Coach Green, and it's just like home again. It's, you know, I could be myself, and Coach Green just thinks I'm crazy anyway, which is probably good for him. Which is a good thing. I know Coach Bath has the energy, and we're going to work, and we're going to fight, and we're going to get things done. And there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, and it's going to be who you're going through those days with. Liberty is a different place because of the faith-based part of it. And I know as a mom, it is paramount that my daughter gets to be in that atmosphere. It was important for me as a child and my sisters, with my grandmother and my mom, knowing who God is. It does help the fact that we are at private school and I'm able to pray with them if I want to, or they could pray for me, or they know I'm a mess and, oh my goodness, we're all works in progress. And so it's just kind of really neat. Principles that I've learned from Coach Green, have patience, definitely have patience, be slow to anger, listen, and be kind, love, and that has absolutely nothing to do with X's and O's. Isn't that something?
Here we go.
I want my girls to know that about Coach Bath, that she pushed me, that she's tough, that she loved me. And love is a big deal. When my girls are old and I'm not on this earth, oh God, hopefully I am, but if I'm not, I would like them to think about Coach Bath as having energy, wisdom, love, funny, silly, touchable person, real. The word real, I think, would be kind of sum it all up.
Rhett, the great thing about that piece, you do get a sense of a real sense 100%. Of who Coach Bath is. You spend any time around her, that's who she is, that energy she brings, and that attitude of no matter what goes on, no matter what you're facing, all right, let's figure out how to beat it, and then let's move on to the next thing, and we'll figure out how to beat that too, and that's a great characteristic for a coach.
You talk about the energy that she brings. I am fortunate enough to work the women's broadcast, and I've got a headset on. I'm like 30 feet away from her down on the bench, and sometimes I can still hear her screaming and yelling her support, so it's a lot of fun to watch. Well, hey, let's turn our attention to football now. If you've been a Flames fan for any extended period of time, you're more than likely the proud owner of a classic red Beat Coastal shirt.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, time to dig that thing out of the closet and kind of dust it off here because it's time to get the rivalry renewed. Liberty and Coastal announced that the Flames and Chanticleers will renew their rivalry in 2023 and 2024 with a home-and-home series. Liberty and Coastal dominated the Big South from 2004 to 2015, with one of those teams at least sharing a portion of the conference title in 11 times out of those 12 years. Now turning our attention to Liberty Baseball that starts their season in just a few short weeks, hard to believe. DJ Artis has been named to the 2018 D1Baseball.com preseason All-American team. The 2017 Big South Player of the Year has earned all-conference first-team honors for the second season in a row. Artis finished the year second in the nation with a .532 on-base percentage and was the national leader in walks with 62. DJ also collected 13 doubles, 2 triples, and 6 home runs. Obviously, the NCAA and the Flames expect more big things in his junior year.
Can't wait for baseball. Well, listen, few people in any profession have had a meteoric rise like that of Liberty-sponsored NASCAR driver William Byron. Just 20 years old, he's about to embark on his rookie season in the Monster Energy Cup Series, the top series in the sport. Now, this past week, he met the media and discussed the upcoming season during NASCAR's media tour in Charlotte. But racing wasn't all he talked about. You see, Byron is also still a student here at Liberty University, and he was asked about the challenge of being a full-time NASCAR driver and a college kid at the same time.
With Liberty, I've been doing my classes over the off season. It's just kind of starting back up with this semester, and it's going pretty well. I think that it's going to be a challenge, but if I can manage my time well, it's not going to be too bad. So it's just all about managing your time, and I think that ultimately makes me better. Kind of makes you appreciate when you do have a chance to, get in the car. You're more prepared.
Coming up, the Philadelphia Eagles are certainly excelling on the field, but we introduce you to a man who's more concerned with their faith walk.
And I'll unveil this week's Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's when Game On returns.
Welcome to Liberty University.
We are so glad that you are here.
We hope that while on campus,
you will experience God's goodness
and recognize His abundant blessings and faithfulness.
From our thriving academics with over 200 programs
and our close-knit community to our state-of-the-art facilities and residence halls.
You will see that the Lord is integrated into each part of this university.
Fun and excitement also await you here as you attend football games,
basketball games,
concerts,
campus community,
convocation 3 times each week,
and much more, while developing relationships that will last a lifetime.
Each of us has a different path during our time here,
but we have at least one thing in common.
Not leaving this university the same as when we came.
I love this school.
I love this school.
I love this school, and I hope you will too.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Each morning begins around 7. I make breakfast for the kids and get them ready for the day. Mornings can be hectic as I'm running my business from home, and when the kids nap, it's the perfect time to work on my courses. By studying at Liberty University without set login times, I am able to craft my own schedule around what works best for my life. This flexibility allows me to work on my assignments during the day so I can spend time with my husband after he gets home from work. As a parent, I have to balance the week from my daughter's dance class to teaching ballet to church activities. Studying online has allowed me to invest in my education while being a strong example to my children. My name is Kimberly. I'm a mom, a business owner, and a Liberty University student.
We the champions, in order to affirm our tradition of unwavering faith, ignite a passion for wisdom, challenge perspectives, inspire creativity, and pursue knowledge. Do resolve to be the voice for the voiceless, bring healing to the hurting, fight for the oppressed, defend freedom, defy stereotypes, and follow God's calling wherever it may lead.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Game On. You know, it takes a very special athlete to play in the NFL. Obviously, they are elite at their trade and work endlessly to improve. While not entirely the same, chaplains are elite at their craft, relationship building, tirelessly promoting the kingdom of heaven.
So let's get right into the word. Turn your Bibles or look at your notes. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3, verse 8.
I played high school football, ran a 4.4, 340. Knew I was going to the league like every young black boy does, and fractured my vertebra my sophomore year in high school, and that was it. And so it was funny, you know, you have the dream, one day I'm gonna play in the NFL, and then all of a sudden the reality of having an injury kind of dashes those dreams. And I never thought that I'd ever be involved with football again. Then I went on to be a national sales manager for FUBU in Manhattan, in New York. I did executive sales promotion for Damon John and FUBU back when Damon had hair.
Ted Winsley had made his way to a position that most Americans only dream of, climbing the corporate ladder at a thriving company. A lifelong Christian, Ted had his own thoughts on what God's plans were for his success. But as it often happens, God had other plans, as Pastor Lamont McLean asked him to join his staff.
I really thought that God brought me or gave me that six-figure job, so because I knew one day I'd be in full-time ministry, that he gave me that six-figure job so that I could, you know, make all this money, have a nice house, take care of my wife, and then you go into full-time ministry where they don't give you any money and it's okay. I didn't realize that God gave me the job so I could give it up.
Pastor McLean would be asked to start a Bible study for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he asked Ted to serve as his assistant. But after a year, it became clear that Ted was the better fit for the job.
After a little into the first year, my pastor looked at me and said, I'm not supposed to be doing this, because it was interesting. He and I are about 20 years apart, and he quickly realized that they didn't want a father figure, because many of them didn't have fathers. He realized that they wanted a brother.
So what do you give a bunch of men who have it all? Now a pastor, Ted's experience caring for his congregation, along with his success in the business world, has prepared him to see what the athletes in his care most need.
The number one thing that they needed was balance. And I think that's what I learned. And also, I think from my years working with FUBU and celebrities, the major thing I found out is they're regular people. I don't care how much money you give them. I don't care how much fame a person has. If they don't know who they are inside, it really doesn't matter. And so I think that really kind of set the stage for me being able to embrace them as young men who actually needed something that I actually already had. And I had a relationship with God. I knew what my identity was. I had natural success to the point that I knew that it still doesn't define you nor give you peace. And in an environment like that, until you become grounded and know who you really are, the very thing that you think is a blessing becomes a curse. They're so used to being different. And when they come into the NFL environment, everybody's a world-class athlete. Everybody was the best in their city. Everybody's all county. Everybody can run, jump, and fast. And I think this is the whole part of really what I preach to the players is that football is a platform. It's not your purpose.
And of course, the NFL is a business, and the success of any franchise is predicated on the team's success on the field. But from Ted's perspective, it is about much more than what's on the scoreboard at the end of the game.
Sometimes winning is a distraction if you don't have a foundation. So if the players don't have the foundation as to why I'm here, then winning becomes a distraction and they believe winning is the why. Instead of realizing that winning is the what, Christ is the why. Michael, have you received Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? And we baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in Jesus' name. What's happening is what happened in the Bible, and that is that Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship that's supposed to, if you focus on the kingdom, as a result, there'll be disciples. So I think that's what's happening on the Philadelphia Eagles is the nature and the culture of God was implanted years ago, and now it's spreading. This is a voluntary service that I am blessed to be able to do, but I get paid more than money ever could just by seeing God work in the lives of people and to be able to change other people's lives because of that.
I can tell you we had a great time getting to know Pastor Ted a little bit, and I think I speak for most of us here when I say good luck to his Eagles.
Yes, that's right.
In the Super Bowl, bring home a title. It was great catching up with him. All right, time now for Warm, Hot, and Fuego, top 3 athletic performances of the week. Rhett, kick it off with Warm. Who you got?
Yeah, Devin Pierce here, newcomer to the Liberty Flames hockey team. New kid on the block. This guy just transferred down from NCAA D3.
Okay.
And boy, has he ever made an impact. 4 games. Guess how many goals he scored? 4? That's right.
I didn't even know that.
I know, it's amazing. It's a connection.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just know. But this guy, you know what? He's heir to the throne of Grant Garvin. Grant Garvin, big number 17 for the Flames. Quick guy, great hands. I wouldn't say Devin quite has the hands, but he's a big power forward that's going to bring a much-needed physical element to this game, and they've got him right between a couple freshmen, Cole Gammer and Bushinsky, and that line has taken off since he's come on, and he might be the missing ingredient to the Flames forward group that kind of puts them over the edge.
Like a great trade deadline acquisition, right?
Is.
Comes at a great time. All right, from Warm now, who's hot?
Prudence Rooker of the swim team, and this young lady, 2-time, back-to-back, I guess you could say, CCSA Swimmer of the Week. First swimmer in program history to achieve that recognition back-to-back.
Let's go for the 3-peat.
Yeah, she should do it. Senior year, just throw everything to the wind and go for it. 3 individual wins at Marshall on Saturday. All 3 of her wins, which are called swims, thank you, were season best times by a Liberty swimmer, and she has actually won her last 9.
Wow.
Her last 9 races, she has dominated and done great. So congrats to the senior. Keep it going and end out your tenure at Liberty on a high note.
Perhaps we'll see you back here on Warm, Hot, and Fuego again. And finally, in Fuego this week, who you got?
I don't think you could pick anybody else besides Kian Green. She has just dominated this past week.
The Green Monster.
Yes, that's true. Green Machine, whatever you want to call it. She has been amazing. And that win against Campbell right there, she had 30 points.
Unbelievable.
And she was just under the basket doing work. You can see it right here, just pushing people off. Get off my back, take it up. And I think in that game, I noticed one thing is that, when a freshman comes into a program and has just a tremendous first year, a great rookie season, and then they go into the next year, everybody knows. Everybody has the target on her back. And I think it was in that game right there where I was like, Kian has just said, I'm an elite talent. Enough's enough. I'm done with this. I'm going to start dominating. And then her next game, she had 20 and 12. So she is on fire right now.
One of the best we've seen in a long time.
Yes.
Great job as always, Rhett. Still to come, Bobby Bowling sat down with one of the most entertaining coaches on campus. It's a new Flames fill in the blank, and it's coming up next. Stay with us.
Judgment Day, it's coming. Judgment Day, it's for you, it's coming for you.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Joined now by one of our favorite people, and Bobby Bowling. Welcome, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. You know, Bobby, you've had some just great stories with, athletes. You're chatting them up. But today, you have your first coach.
Today is the first. Today, we get to hear from the man who has been a part of this university almost as long as I've been alive. Head women's basketball coach Kerry Green is the first ever coach to be put on the hot seat on Flames Fill in the Blank. Coach, you ready for this?
I don't know.
I don't know, you're the first coach to be put on Flames Fill in the Blank. We're gonna dive right into it. Outside of the Bible, what is the best book you've ever read?
Several great ones. Purpose-Driven Life is a really good one.
What is the last concert you attended? Or the best concert,
Elton John back in his days, way back, but he put on a great concert. Yeah.
All right, if you could pick to go to any sporting event tomorrow, who would you take with you and which game would it be?
Well, I'm smart. I'm taking my wife with me.
Okay, good answer.
One of my favorite teams is the Boston Celtics, so we'll probably go see a Celtic game.
Now, Coach, word on the streets says that you're a big fisherman and hunting. Now, if you could only pick one that you had to do the rest of your life, would you pick fishing or hunting?
Pick fishing.
Fish on.
Really? Okay, why is that?
With fishing, you can share it with others, and a lot of times my players and I would go fishing together and have competitive fishing.
Today, we're going fishing.
Fishing with Coach Green. Go fish.
And you can talk. I feel like hunting, you gotta be quiet.
You're right.
We're not hearing anything here.
Who is your favorite person to go fishing with?
My wife.
Your wife?
Again, right answer.
Right answer, that's right. You had to be stuck in a movie the rest of your life. Which movie would it be?
The Truman Show, and I know nobody will remember that. And that was like a life or that just repeated. It was like a show. It was a real reality show in the heyday. So that was like 10 or 12 years ago.
Okay, what is your all-time favorite TV show?
I can't come up with one. Flashpoint. I love Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
Family Feud's pretty fun.
I do know that. All right, Coach, that's all I have for you. You survived the hot seat. I want to thank you so much for taking time to sit down on Flames Fill in the Blank, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks again to Coach Green for taking the time to sit down with us. Always a treat to see him.
Absolutely.
But after the interview, I got thinking. I think we should have had you fill in, Matt,
right?
Because I feel like his answers were geared more towards an older audience, quite like yourself.
I
Maybe
could
Rhett.
tell from the look on your face, most of it was going over your head. That's a look we see a lot around the office, if I have to be honest. But Bobby, thanks as always. Great job. Hey, we're about out of time. As always, hit us up on social media at GameOnLU and the website as well.
GameOnLU.com.
It's quite nice. For Bobby, for Rhett, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching. We'll see you here next week.